What is up, my puffer people? It is I, Kane, your puffer pal, back with another video. And today I'm actually starting a new league. I have not done a draft breakdown yet, unfortunately, because I have been so busy with everything else in my life. Yeah, that's why I haven't uploaded in a while. I'm very sorry, guys. But school's gonna be ending soon, classes over, tests, stupid stuff done, and I'll be able to upload more during the summer, hopefully. Basically though, I will break down my team real quick. Not my full team, but this team, because I didn't get to do a team builder either. So we have a Scizor, SD double priority and knockoff. Double priority because we got Technician and then Quick Attack and Bullet Pump. One of my favorite sets to run on Scizor, SD double priority, just because like it hits almost everything for at least neutral damage. So and it just hits really hard once you're +2. Then we got a Scarf Sylveon. Scarf Sylveon, I EV'd this for after its Scarf. It outspeeds Kieran Black by a single point or two, like 1 or 2 points, so that we didn't have to waste it all on all our EVs on the Kyurem, and we could put some into speed, HP, and then this just max stack and with them bulk. And then we got Gren. This is Metronome Gren. Shout out to Chimp, who brought this in the GBA, Chimpact. And I was thinking about it, and it just does work against his team. He doesn't have a Dark Pulse resist. We can click Extra Sensory pretty freely and do a lot of damage to Toxapex. And if he tries to recover me, our damage will ramp up, and he can't do that. Then we've got max fetch at max speed. Then we got a nice Donphan. This more bulky, but we have a little offense investment. Then with Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Knockoff to just knock off some items. And then Earthquake and Stone Edge to hit all his mons hard. And then we've got Stealth Rocks because he brought 3 mons weak to Stealth Rocks. And after Stealth Rocks, our Scizor at +2 literally wins. Then we've got a haxORUS. Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Poison Jab, and Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is good stab, hits everything hard, and it super effects Kieran Black, Earthquake, where Tectonic Rage Grandium Z for Toxapex, and it also hits Storm hard, and then Poison Jab hits Surf hard. And he also has a Rabombi, which he didn't bring, which I brought Poison Jab for. Then we've got Mega Latias. We are max attack, and then basically we put like about 150 in each bulk, not exactly, but around. And basically we have Recover, Surf, Dragon Pulse. Like, this is meant to take hits well while dealing a lot of damage to his whole team. Our nicknames, we got Flex Steel 2.0. Shout out to Celesteela in the OPL. Then we've got Pixie Kitty. I couldn't think of a good name, and like Pixie Kitty I just really liked because it's like a cat, but it's like fairy type. Then we got Froggy MDG. Shout out to the GOAT, Matt Gassman. Then we've got Zanzibar, our Donphan. Shout out to the GOAT, DK Nappy. Then we've got the Heated Mo, because he's the Hax God, this haxORUS. Shout out to the GOAT, the Heated Mo. Then we've got Sci-Fly, because it's like sci-fi. It's like a sci-fi creature, because it's like a dragon and stuff. It's Sci-Fly, because it like flies, and it has the ability to levitate, and that's pretty cool, you know? So looking at on team matchup, he really does not have a switch into our Scizor. At +2, we literally win. Kyurem dies at +2 easily. Toxapex can't take a knockoff and Quick Attack. You die easily to a Bullet Punch. It's Mega Arrow, I don't know if I mentioned. You die to a Bullet Punch after Rocks. You die to a Quick Attack. And you die to a Bullet Punch, yeah. Who else looks good? Sylveon doesn't look great because he does have 2 Hyper Voice switch in, but it looks decent because at least I could. Did I mention I have Hyper? I didn't even mention my moveset on you. Hyper Voice and Hyper Beam for strong stab, and then Psyshock and Shadow Ball for coverage. And then Greninja has also Jump Up and U-Turn. I don't know if I mentioned that. Then we actually have the GOAT itself, John Cena. No, just kidding. Basically that looks good. Our Sci-Fly also looks like it could put in some work because Tommy has switched into my coverage. Kieran Black doesn't want to take a Dragon Pulse. Toxapex doesn't want to take Psychics really well. Aerodactyl doesn't take Surfs. You don't really take Dragon Pulse too well. You don't want to take a Surf. You don't want to take Psychics. And then the last Pokemon that looks insanely good is haxORUS. At +1, we basically just sweep. Earthquake on Darm, Dragon Claw, Mew, Poison Jab, Surf, Dragon Claw, Mega Arrow, Earthquake, Tectonic Rage, the Toxapex, and Dragon Claw, the Kieran. So those three, I'm looking at it, and those three are my win cons. So I really want to preserve them till the end so I get whittled down. Also, one of the things I find most important is getting rocks up. I need rocks, because rocks just make it so that I basically just sweep very easily with Scizor. So I was predicting him to lead with the Kieran Black, because Kieran Black could, like, one-shot my Zanzibar with an Ice Beam, because that's my most obvious lead. So I decided to lead Sylveon. He decides to actually lead Lord Luxray. Shout out to, I forgot to even mention, the new lead's called the, APM, I believe. Wait. APM, yeah. Shoot. I don't know if I was supposed to show that. Top secret stuff, but whatever. Probably gonna get kicked out of the league. No, shout out to Jed Swarley. I'll probably, if I remember, leave a link to his channel in the description. He is the creator of the league. So shout out to Lux. I think his YouTube is Lord Luxray. I'll leave it to, hopefully he's our opponent. Great battler. I've seen some of his battles and content. Great content. Really just a really good battler. Very scary week 1 matchup. But basically, this is a decent matchup for me. Because I know for a fact my Sylveon could take any hits he wants to throw at me. Leaf Storm's doing like 30%. Dragon Pulse Aware Mewtwo, and then maybe a Hidden Power, which isn't going to hurt us at all, really. So we could just fire off a free Hyper Voice. He probably switches into Toxapex, but I didn't want to, like, over-predict turn 1, so I just clicked. And we still do decent damage, 18%. So I decided to go Sci-Fi, because we hard wall Toxapex. It could Toxic us, but we still pretty much hard wall it, because we do so much damage to it. I decided to click Dragon Pulse instead of Psychic, because Mew was just such an easy switch into a Psychic that I felt like there was no world where he didn't. Well, I knew he wasn't staying in, and I felt like his best switch in was 100% the Mew. So I could just fire off a Dragon Pulse, do decent damage. This does show us that he is more of a speedy Mew, because we don't have speed investment, but we still outspeed him. Like, even without speed investment, here, I'll pull it up. We still outspeed a Mew by, not too much. Not too much, but if you take a look, Mew, I'm so stupid. Mew, and then Latios Mega. We have a base 110 speed. So with no speed investment, we have 256. Meaning he has at least 84 speed investment. We know that. So we know he's running some speed in his Mew. And based off the damage Dragon Pulse is doing, he is not running bulky. So at this point, I'm like, okay, he's running a more offensive Mew. Okay. But even with him running an offensive Mew, because of our investment in defense, we can take an Ice Beam very well. Because of just, like, do we fire off another Dragon Ball? Because just look at that spit out. Base 150 spit out. It's just insanity. But basically, we're doing damage. We win this match off. He's gonna try to roost stall me, but we always win this match off. We do more damage, and we have recover anyway. So this is a matchup where we are very much in, like, the winning position. So I don't care. He could just try to stall me. I could click recover, and then we're basically back at square one. But I do more damage to him, so I'm in a better position. I'm doing like 9% more than him, which doesn't. And we get a crit, which again is unfortunate. But when you're spamming Roost like that, you have to expect crits. You're playing for crits at that point because you should not spam Roost that much if you don't want to get crit. So yes, it's unfortunate but I do think it was kind of his fault in the long run. I mean, no shade, but like, if he doesn't want to get crit, don't do that. Don't. And now I ran the calcs. I knew we were guaranteed to live any hit from the Mega Arrow. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to fire off a serve, do about 75% to it, cripple it so that basically it's dead if it switches in on rock. Fortunately, we get a lower roll, which means it can live a rock switch in. At this point, I knew Zanzibar could literally eat any hit it wants to go for. Plus, we have the Rocky Helmet, so he can only hit us like twice, and then he dies. And now he goes Serp on the rocks. And at this point, this was very good prep on his part, being that his team is insanely weak to rocks. He brought D5. But he also gets rid of Toxic Spikes, which is super nice for us, because Toxic Spikes were super annoying. And we get to knock off his Expert Belt, which is kind of huge, because now he's going to be doing less damage if he goes for like a Dragon Pulse on Latios, or haxORUS, or if he goes on for a Leaf Storm on us, or Gren, or HP Fire on Scizor, stuff like that. He'll be doing way less damage, so it's great. It's very nice to get a knockout. We still die because we're obviously not very specially defensive, but at this point, I could easily send in my Pixie Kitty. We are Scarfed. We take any hit, and he does just send back in Toxapex. But again, this is fine. But I knew that I sent in the Latios last time, so I didn't just want to send it in again, because then he would just send in Mew. So I had to send in something that could take this on, and also take on their Mew. So I decide, okay, let's send in Gren. Dark Pulse for Mew, and Extrasensory for this. Pretty easy. So we send it in as he switches into Arm. I ran the calcs. We could live any hit, including a U-turn, and we do. So I'm able to just fire off a nice Hydro Pump, which I ran the calcs. Still does decent damage, even to Toxapex. And now we could start clicking Extrasensory. We do get a crit. Again, unfortunate, but, like, I mean, crits happen. Like, and it doesn't matter that much in the long run, because he does get Regenerator and everything. We get another crit. Again, doesn't really matter in the long run. It's unfortunate. See. Frick. Wait. He misplayed so hard right there. No shade to him, but 15. So right here is where he misplayed super hard. Because we click Extrasensory, we got the crit. He knew he outsped us. Maybe thinking about it, he thought we had Water Shuriken. But we would have clicked Water Shuriken back before when he clicked U-turn and did all that damage to us right here. We didn't have Water Shuriken. So if he had clicked Scarf U-turn right there, he takes out my Gren there, right there. But he chooses to not and allows our Gren to just do a lot of damage to Toxapex. We almost kill him, but of course, flinch would be nice, but we do not get the flinch, which is fine. It's only a 10% chance. But again, he's going to try to recover Storm me now, which is, of course, annoying. But, you know, it's whatever. I don't care, because our damage is racking up, as you can see. Because of the metronome, we are getting increased damage. And eventually, we are just going to be able to win this trade-off. Now we're doing 47%. And after the next Extrasensory, we'll be doing over 50%. And he cannot recover styles anymore. He switches in just so he could get the Regenerator, and now we get to take out Mew with a nice clean Dark Pulse, which is always very nice to do. Which is always very nice, because Mew is always a threat. Now he just sends back in the Toxapex, and again, he tries to stall me with it. But we do, kind of win this matchup, because we're getting more damage on the Toxapex, which is one of the only things that could take a hit from Scizor when we're not a +2. We do get the flinch, which is on 4. But again, like I've covered, when you're going to click recover this much and you're just trying to stall me out, it's your fault. You're fishing for crits. We're going to get a crit or flinch eventually. So he does fire off the skull and finally kills us, but he is on 9%. At this point, I decide to go Mega Latios, and I knew he had to switch out. He's not going to let this die. It's at 9%. So I just decided to click recover and get a nice 50% back. I ran the calcs. With our amazing bulk investment, we could live a Dragon Pulse from this range. He decides to go Leaf Storm, get to +2. It's fine. At this point, I'm okay with just sacking my Sci-Fly off to a Dragon Pulse, but we actually do live. I just thought we died. That's where the Expert Belt, getting the knockoff, was clutch. because it would have killed if we hadn't gotten the knockoff off. Now he goes Mega Arrow, it's guaranteed to outspeed me, but I'm okay with this. Because at this point I'm looking at my Scizor, and I'm like, Mega Arrow, you dying. Darm, you dying. Toxapex, you dying. Stupid Kieran Black, you ain't dying. But, I mean, you ain't dying, but, like, I mean... Oops, hopefully that didn't show up. If that showed up, that's upsetting, but, okay, anyway. Darm is... Darm? Is it Darm who I'm talking about? Yeah. Darm does die to... No, Kieran Black. Kieran Black doesn't die to a Bullet Punch, but I don't think that's going to be his first switch into a Scizor anyway, because it's a Scizor. So, who really thinks to switch? Now, I could have clicked Swords Dance right here and won, but I didn't click Swords Dance because if he had Fire Fang and outsped us, we lose right there, because we needed this. So I can click Bullet Punch, and at this point, he's easily in range of a knockoff. We can kill him, because it does like 40-50%. We do take a lot of damage from Life Orb and Rocky Helmet, but we still have 50%, which is easily enough. Now, he does send in the Darm, which is very clutch, because if he had sent in Kieran Black, he would still have Darm, and it would have been a big threat. But he doesn't. Now, this is where the crit comes into play. Because we do 50% to him, like, that's a mid-roll, I believe. I believe a mid-roll is 50%. So, the crit might have mattered. But it did not matter. Because if he killed us right here, we could go haxORUS, click Dragon Dance, and unless that Kerm is Scarfed, we win it at +1. Because we have Speed Darm, Scarf Darm, and we live a Flare Blast. But we do just get to fire off a quick attack and take out the Darm. And now he sends in Kieran Black, which does live a hit, but we're okay because we do have a Scarf thing in the back. So unless he clicks Iron Head, kills us right here, then we lose, probably, if he's Scarfed. But he doesn't. He clicks Fusion Bolt, and I know Sylveon, even if he's Scarfed, Sylveon could take a single hit, I believe, unless he's, like, absolute insane, just adamant, maybe he has a chance to kill us. But anyway, basically we live anyway, but we kill it, he's not Scarfed. At this point, we could just, we win, it's JJ, because unless he gets a, because haxORUS is guaranteed to live a hit, but he decides to click Roost, which is a misplay, because why? You already know what happens when you try to stall someone, and we do more than he gets back, so he cannot click Roost. He has to click Stone Edge. He does connect, kills off, and at this point, if he gets a crit on my haxORUS, we do lose. So I'm very nervous. I'm like, I mean, high crit chance, we could lose. So we send in the Heat Mode. I'm like, come on, haxORUS, do not get crit, do not get crit, and he misses. Doesn't really matter, because he would have had to get a crit anyway to win, so... GG to my man Lux, and we are now 1-0, which is great. He said those crits and flinches, damn, blaming crits and flinches on the loss, that was basically, we just outplayed him. Anyway, sorry, shouldn't be rude, but, like, we did kind of outplay him. Anyway, the crit on the Darm. Okay, let's break down the hacks. We got a crit on Toxapex. Kind of mattered, kind of didn't, because even though he had to switch it out then and let the Darm take extra damage, again, I already broke down why Darm taking extra damage in the long run is actually helped him. Because I outspeed with Darm, and being that we know he's not Scarf Kieran Black, I mean, I outspeed Darm with the haxORUS. So, at +1, I could click Dragon Dance, live a Flare Blast, and then we outspeed at +1, and then we just kill the rest of the team, and then it would have been an actual 2-0, so it actually helped him, us getting the crits. And then the flinch was on for it with Extra Sensory, but if you're gonna spam recovery, you have to expect that. It was, like, you cannot just spam recovery and not expect to get flinched or crit at least a few times. So I blame him for that. He cannot blame the luck on Hax when he was trying to stall us out. So, GG to my man Lux. So, I think we played very well. We are now 1-0. There's only like a 6-week league, I think, in the main season. It's a 20-man league. Our tier, right now we're doing okay in our division. We're only +1 though, which is on Fort, but it's still okay. And that's really it. DPBA, not DPBA, OPL, our last week we never got to upload, should be coming soon. Draft break analysis for this league in general should be coming soon. And until next time, my puffer people, Stay put.